What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Blind Sample Showdown. It is Wednesday already, and look at this. Everybody's on time today. I love it. I love it.
We are here.
What do we got? Over on Instagram, I see Whiskey in the Six joined. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Thanks for joining. And in on the YouTube, we got the usual suspects. We got Marshall, Rough Spirits, the Whiskey Franco, Spicy Strawberry, Whiskey Addict Mike, Brian F. How you doing, bud? And Sugar Kitty, as usual. Smoked by Ash Joe is here. Tater Dom, nice to see you. And Whiskey Geek is in the house. And what else do we got over on Instagram? I'm not even going to try to pronounce that right now, but somebody else joined in Instagram. Whiskey Sipper 23 just joined over there. So today, special edition of the Blind Sample Showdown. It is actually National Craft Distillery Day. Woo-hoo. That is awesome. All three of us are kind of big into craft distilleries. So
absolutely.
Caleb, you are the TX Whiskey Geek. What's going on? What's big in Texas whiskey?
One of the first craft distillers in Texas just dropped their Ladybird recently. That's a honey barrel finished whiskey and cognac finished, I believe, cognac casks. And I'm looking for one. I didn't make it out of the distillery for one, so I'm searching. But
okay. And Dylan, U.S. Smallcraft over here. He is a lover of all craft distilleries, but based out of Louisiana. What's big in the craft scene in Louisiana?
So we got. I'm sure everybody knows about JT Mellick, but they're
making a splash, yeah.
Yeah, they just released their high proof small batch. It's like 180 proof. It is. I think it's a perfect balance between their cask strength offerings and their traditional small batch. I think it's that perfect area where it fits perfectly in there. It's really nice. So if you get a chance to try it, I would highly recommend it. And really just 7-3 Distilling in New Orleans. They're doing a bunch of really cool stuff. They've got some double oak. They have a bunch of finishes coming out soon. They're killing it, just like JT Mellick. And then the other little distillery I rave about in Lafayette, Distillery Acadian, they have a lot of stuff down the pipeline. We're just kind of waiting to see, what they come out with. But it's, they're steady making good bourbon, coming out with a rye, coming out with a wheated bourbon. So I'm really excited to kind of see what they have coming out with. But and then that's pretty much it here in Louisiana as far as I know. And then I kind of also started a podcast recently, so I just launched my first, maybe not launch, but I recorded my first episode yesterday with the low distillery, craft distillery from Georgia. It's one of Georgia's only grain of glass, and it's a really unique story and how they do things. So I'm really excited to kind of get that out, let y'all hear it. So looking forward to it.
Excellent. Yeah, looking forward to it, bud. Bourbon Battalion, Bobby, what's up? Thanks for joining. Bourbon with Friends, I see you popped in. How you doing? That's got to be Brian. I see Martin's already in here. So, you guys kind of know how this works already. You've been through one. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through that aspect of it, which will give us a little bit more time to chat about some other stuff. I know everybody likes to know I am currently drinking Andalusia Bottled and Bond. Yes, Andalusia Bottled and Bond from, I want to say this is the 23 version. Yeah, 12/2/23. Nice. So it is an excellent whiskey, as with any other Andalusia. Go ahead, open your samples, pour them out, keep track of which one's which. We don't want to screw that up.
I'm not gonna lie. The first one kind of makes me nervous because it's so light, and I don't know. it makes me think it's something overseas, and I don't know much about that, so I'm kind of nervous about it.
Well,
You never know, right?
you never know, and it's a good. If it is something you don't know anything about, it's a good time to find out about it.
Exactly.
I think I've had this before.
I'm just getting prepared here. I totally spaced on National Craft Distillery Day, so I was in a mad rush trying to do some kind of post for it, and took me a little bit longer than I wanted it to. So that's why I'm a little behind on what I normally have done already. So, but we're there. And what else? What do we else? What else we got going on here? Whiskey Shaman, how you doing, bud? And he says that is a great bottle.
I agree that Bottle and Bond is one of my favorites.
Brian wants to know who is going to lose tonight and join the loser circle, which I haven't done a whole lot of thinking about a losers bracket yet, but I don't dislike the idea. So I'm going to try to work on that. We got Rough Spirits dropping everybody's stuff. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody remember to lick the like button. After you're done licking it, hit it with your thumb so that it actually registers. I love it. I love it. We got Alex coming in over on Instagram. How you doing, Alex?
Whoa.
And on a personal note, I'm glad I cut my hair before the show tonight because somebody didn't remind or tell me that I had a big black grease spot on the top of my head. So I wouldn't even looked in the mirror had I not had to cut my hair. So I'm glad that happened because it was right there. Caesar, what's up, everybody? Or how about what's up there, buddy? Not everybody. Ooh, loser's bracket has to do blinds of flavored vodka. I like it.
Oh dear.
All right. And well, you guys go ahead and start whenever you're ready. Start with number one, obviously. Hey,
Yeah.
Patty, nice to see you. Thank you for joining.
This is interesting.
Yeah, I think I've had this number one before. Like the nose is so.
I've never. Yeah, I don't.
I just can't pinpoint like what it was that I was drinking.
Can't pinpoint it. Randall, you just don't want to do this because you would have to be doing it. If you were in the winner's circle, you would not be opposed to flavored vodka for the losers. And a bit of encouragement from Marshall here. You got this, guys. Sorry, buddy.
Marshall, I got nothing going on up here, so it's all good.
Brian, Canadian whiskey for the losers. Yes, there was a couple Canadians so far in the blind that actually people liked them. So I don't know if that's too much of a punishment. I suppose it could be something. Yeah, how about Traveler? There you go. There you go, Sugar Cane. Canadian Mist and Traveler. That's all it is. That's all you get.
Some bottom shelf blinds.
No, only that's only reserved for you, Martin. And I think it's another 2 hours, isn't it? Oh, why? Why with the Malort? Everybody with the Malort.
I've never actually had Malort.
You're better off. You are better off. No, man, seriously, everybody should try it at least once to see, because
Yeah.
actually, some people do actually like it, and I don't know why, and they're weird, broken people, but at least you'll know if you're weird and broken if you like it.
I can't. Man, you throwing me off this one.
You still working on number one?
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Really light
All
on the
right.
palate, like lighter than I expected.
It is, but it has like a towards the back. It's like, where's all this spice coming from?
Yeah.
Whiskey Super, Alex.
Really, really interesting. Man.
So while you guys are going through that here, give me 3 of your favorite craft distilleries that are not in your home state. Go ahead and start with that, Caleb.
3, Sugar House out in Utah. They make some really good. They make some really good single malts, and I mean their bourbon's pretty good too.
Okay. That is one that I have not had, so definitely going to have to search them out.
Yeah, they're good stuff. I like 117 Spirits out in California. They make a crystal malt rye, which it's awesome.
You are speaking my language, bud. I don't know that one either.
Yeah, and then I guess the other one would be from California as well, the 10th Street Distillers.
10th Street they are superb. That is that's a good whiskey. They do such a great job.
Yeah, I had one of their port and peated casks.
Yep.
And I could have swore it was Lagavulin when I first drank it. You know, like,
Okay.
it was gonna be like a Lagavulin 16, but no, it was them. It was 10th Street.
Dylan, how about you? 3 of your favorite craft distilleries that are not in your home state.
Okay. I think the Whiskey Franco will appreciate this one. Detling.
Yeah, everybody appreciates that one. That's such a good whiskey.
They make incredible. Seth Detling makes some incredible whiskey. Another one I've had. I don't own any of their products, but Crittenden Distillery out in Mississippi, smaller distillery. He makes just really good bourbon, but when he gets into the finishing side of things, it is extraordinary what he's able to produce.
Excellent. I have heard of that one. I have not had any of it, but I have heard of that one.
He makes some really good stuff. And then lastly, one of my favorites that I had a great experience there, and I really like just the combination of grains that they use to make their bourbon and their rye and whatnot. So it's Bent Distilling in Louisville, Texas. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, they have a 4-grain rye. It's truly unique. I got the bottle mine, and Caleb, I'm doing his show. I'm sure he could probably comment on.
And you did send me a couple samples of that Bent, yeah. And from what I had half of it, and I enjoyed it. It was definitely good.
Yeah, they make really good stuff, and I think eventually they're supposed to put out on Bent line. They're supposed to add a Triticale, a light whiskey as well. So because all those kind of mesh together in their flagship number 5 bourbon, which is pretty neat. Flex it is for just like 84%. So.
Excellent. How we doing on our guesses, guys? We getting close?
Yeah, I'm ready to guess when you're ready. So
okay, Dylan, you ready?
Just on number 1, right?
Just on number 1.
Yeah. I can't go anymore with it. So
you're where you're at. All right. Well, Dylan, let's start with you.
Okay. I think it's single malt for my generic. These 3 are my generic. So I said single malt, 50% ABV, and it was reused oak barrels.
Okay.
And then for specific, I said Irish single malt, 52% ABV, and then I stayed with reused oak barrels.
All right. More specific on the specific casking. We talking
You could say reused bourbon.
ex-bourbon. Got it.
Yeah, ex-bourbon, sorry.
Okay. Do you have a distillery or a bottle guess?
I do not, because like I said, those whiskeys overseas I don't know much about. So unfortunately I don't have anything for this one.
Okay. No worries. And your age guess, keep it to yourself, but write it down.
Got it.
Okay. Caleb, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a single malt as well.
Okay.
Generic proof, about 45. Yeah, used casking. I guess it was a Scotch, but I can see why he would say it would be a. It's a tough one, yeah. Can't judge.
It really is, because I wanted to go Scotch, but something told me I feel like it's
Irish. Yeah, I can kind of get how that might be a little bit Irish. I'm gonna stick with Scotch though.
Okay.
I'm gonna specific proof will be 43.5, and it will be ex-bourbon.
Okay.
And I am guessing Aberfeldy. Just the Aberfeldy 12.
12-year. Got her.
I guess that kind of gives away my year guess, huh?
I suppose it
Wasn't
does.
far off on age either.
All right. Move on to number 2, guys.
All right.
And then I guess I'm going to answer my own question. 3 of my favorite craft distilleries that are not in my home state. I am going to go with Lost Woods. They're pretty new on the scene. They make only one single malt. That is all they make, and it's fairly young. It's absolutely fantastic for its age. It's absolutely fantastic. And then when you find out how old it is, you're really blown away. Um, they are out of Minnesota in the Twin Cities area. That is it's a fantastic whiskey. It's a cool little place. It doesn't have a tasting room. It doesn't have anything. He literally pretty much distills in a storage unit.
Really?
And does all of the stuff. He's a one-man show. Marketing, just he does have somebody distill for him, but everything else is him, and it's really impressive. Cedar Ridge, I can't not say Cedar Ridge. If in all honesty, if I could have, if somebody told me you can only buy one distillery for the rest of your life, Cedar Ridge is going to be the one. They make bourbon, they make rye, they make single malt. And they're all just fantastic, and it would scratch the itch of any other type of whiskey that I would want at any point in time. So I would have to go with that distillery, and they are out of Iowa, if you're not aware. And then I gotta say it's Andalusia is my third one out of state. They are I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. They make the best whiskey in Texas across any category. And obviously that's an opinion, but I think there's a few people that might agree.
I'm gonna have to give me some of that because y'all both were talking about it. So
Fantastic. Yeah.
this is one of the wildest things I've ever smelled or tasted.
Okay.
This is wild.
The only thing I will say about that, Dylan, is you are not alone in that comment. There is many, many other people that have said that about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it's evolved since I first started smelling it, but
Yeah, it's I can't even like I don't even know where to go.
it was like black pepper on toasted bread when I first smelled it, and now it's changing to
It's very fruity now.
yeah, it's gotten fruity now.
Really fruity.
Over on Instagram, we got Rob's Garage join. Hey, Rob, what's up? Mr. C, what's up, Mo? Trisha saying Iron Root. I agree with you, Trisha. I like Iron Root as well.
That's my wife.
That's
Trisha.
your wife. Hello, Mrs. Texas Whiskey Geek.
Yeah.
There's a first for everything, huh, Marshall? Hey, there's Mo. What's up, Mo? What else? Anybody else in the comments? Give me 3 of your favorite craft distillers that are not in your home state. And Martin Detling has already been said. You can't say that one.
Mm-hmm.
Martin can't say Journeyman either. It's in his home state. Starlight and Redwood Empire, both excellent choices. Oh, Patty. See, I couldn't say that one. It's in my state. But yes, absolutely.
Okay, really something now. This thing smells like the embers of a campfire now.
Frey Ranch, excellent, Mo. Good stuff. Good stuff. My always my issue with picking favorites is I'll pick 3 favorites and then 2 minutes later think of like 7 or 8 others that are just as good or high up on my list, and it's like picking a favorite is so difficult. Savage and Cook, Joe, I have never had a Savage and Cook anything. I know you've talked about it quite a bit. I should probably get on that. Ooh, Caleb, what's the Colorado one your wife likes?
Stranahan's, I believe.
Okay, Stranahan's excellent. However, they don't qualify for craft anymore.
Big now.
They actually are owned by somebody else.
Go fig. Dang.
So they're the owners. Some of their all spirits produced is over 750 a year, but excellent nonetheless. Whether they're craft or not, they are excellent whiskey. Bobby with the Driftless Glen, I like it. JT Millick, Holiday, and Few for the Whiskey Shaman. Oh yeah, there's one. Traverse City for Bourbon Battalion, Bobby. There's one. Sugar Kitty with the Corbin Cast. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Watershed, Bobby, very good. That's in your home state, though, isn't it? He said, "Oops." Law's Whiskey House. Barrel's an independent bottler, though, is not. I believe that's correct. Telnua, yep, that's another good one. Whiskey Deek is drinking a Dick Pick of Stranahan's. Excellent. That's. I think I finally opened that, Ryan. Nope, I did not open it. Still haven't opened it yet. Yes, we agreed, Trisha. It is just a number, but it's one of those things where somebody has to put a line in the sand, and once it's crossed, it's crossed. But they're still fantastic. They still do really good stuff, and the way they did it beforehand. So I'm definitely all right with it. Westland, yeah, Westland also not craft anymore. They've been owned by Remy since 2015, I think. Marshall with the question, what's your favorite craft ASM? Jason, it is still available, bud. Oh, somebody's doing a bottle kill tonight. Oh, Richards. Yeah, your Richards pick is doing a bottle. You're killing that one tonight, Deke. Yeah, this is this right here, $49 for a cast strength single barrel Stranahan's yellow label. I have searched and searched and searched, and I cannot find a better whiskey value in the American single malt category than that right there. Single cast store pick Stranahan's, you get them for like 50, $55 maybe. It's incredible. Yeah, it'll make it to August, Jason. And if it starts getting hit hard this summer, I'll have them hold one back for me. $291, Trisha says. No, that was okay.
Oh,
Randall's asking Trisha if it's $291. Yes, Trisha agrees. $291. Excellent.
yeah, she does. She does like the rye from there.
$291 is very cool. I know they're weird. They're a little different than normal whiskeys, but those Aspen staves really do something different, and I appreciate something different. I really enjoy that. All right, how are we doing on the guesses, guys? HVAC noob, thanks for joining, bud.
I'm ready.
Caleb's ready. Dylan, need a minute or two yet?
I'm just working on my exact guesses.
Mm-hmm. Weird is good, Jason says. Weird is good.
It is good. I like weird stuff. Man, number 2 is one. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's a really odd one.
10th Mountain. Now, I can't speak for this because I haven't had it yet. But I hear good things. I hear good things.
I have a sample of their rye from somebody that lives in Colorado. He sent me a couple, but one
Okay.
of them proof rye. So try it soon. I'll let you know.
Randall's favorite craft ASM would have to be Cole Keegan. You can pick Texas, Randall. I don't think Marshall put the stipulation on there about the home state.
I don't know.
Not that Cole Keegan was a bad choice. That is an excellent choice.
I'm in Del Bach doing good things out there in Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Del Bach is awesome. Cedar Ridge, Pete and Sherry, Deke, yeah, that's a good one.
Really wild.
Yeah, I think there's a good amount of us that tend to agree with you, Randall. Andalusia does it right. Favorite craft distiller or distillery, Marshall?
Dister.
If it's distiller, I'm going with Moose. Moose is a mad scientist genius. Andalusia getting a lot of love on this stream here. There we go, spicy. Yeah, that Mackenzie Reserve from 45th. That thing is killer. That is probably the best one I've tried this year. Well, I'm not even going to answer that question, Marshall, because I already know you know the answer to that.
Something to do with a lantern.
Yeah, not that I've ever talked about them before.
All right, I think I'm ready.
You are ready. All right.
I think so.
Caleb, we'll go ahead and start with you this time.
Okay. I'm guessing this is generic category, just a malt whiskey. I'm gonna guess it's 100 proof in a new cask. For a specific category, I'm gonna guess a peated straight malt. 95 ABV in a heavy char new barrel.
95 proof, right?
Yeah, 95 proof. Sorry, not ABV.
All right. A 95 ABV would be pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
totally different. Yeah.
I'm thinking you're not drinking that. Specific category. You said peated straight malt. Do you have?
I'm guessing it's an ASW tire fire.
Okay, so you're going with ASM, and then I'm going with that's your distillery and bottle guess.
Yeah.
SW tire fire. Dylan, go ahead.
All right, so I'm completely in a different realm. So we're just gonna go with generic. I said it's a rye. ABV 45%, and I said in X rum barrels. Specific category, I said it's a high rye. ABV 47%. And I'm sticking with the X rum barrels. And then I said it's from Starlight, because I know they're pretty crazy with their finishing.
Yep.
And I don't remember if they released a rye rum barrel, but I did not have an exact bottle guess.
Okay.
It was something maybe they had a hand.
I thought it was a rye at first too, but
yeah, when you said the peated, I was like, maybe change. But I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like it started off like, oh, okay, this is a weird little rye, but then I'm like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
Dylan, for your specific category, you said high rye. Do you have something more than that?
Tell you what.
Just like so, high rye. I'm because I'm just making sure. You said rye for the generic, and then high rye, which would typically mean like a bourbon, high rye bourbon. So I just want to make sure that that's where we're going.
Let's do a straight rye whiskey. Does that work?
Is that good enough?
That is, yeah. I mean that's fine, and your high rye was fine too. I want to make sure I get what you were meaning. So
yeah, let's do a straight rye, because that can have also it can also have other components in the mash bill.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hmm. Now number 3 is like a little something that we're used to.
All right. Go on, get on number 3.
Oh, that smells lovely.
All right. Yes, Jason, you definitely need to try that 45th single malt. That's one you need to try. Yeah, spicy. I don't really know what you're talking about. Lost that. I'm not sure where you're at there. Franco, Lost Lantern, SMWS, Signatory, Gordon McFeel. Yes, all excellent independent bottlers. Best IB craft bottle I've ever tasted. And last year was at Lost Lantern Copperworks. Yeah, that's a good one. Brian, Eiffel Rye. Is that German rye, Brian? I got you, boo. I got you. Mike, Two Souls, excellent IB. They do some really cool stuff. I like where they're headed. I like where they've been. I like where they're headed. I think they're only going to get much better as time goes on here. Yeah, Jason, I don't know if you're going to find any at the distillery, but I think we can probably locate some for you. They did go out to stores, so. I don't know, Trisha. If somebody did ask for the favorite distiller, I said Moose. You said Marlene Holmes. Where is she distilling at? I don't know that name.
Milam and Green.
That's Milam and Green. Okay, perfect. I should have known that. I did know that Milam and Green was Marlene, but I didn't know the last name. So. All right. So another craft distillery question. What should we do here? What should we do? Um, hmm. What has been your favorite craft distilling experience? Like you actually went to the distillery and had an experience at the distillery, nothing to do with the whiskey itself. Crickets. Anybody.
I was in deep thought. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
Um,
Uh, Whiskey Geek says barrel thieving at Starlight. Yeah, I'll go with that's a good fun experience. Randall says the chili cook-off at Andalusia, except Marshall beat you this year. That had to sting. That just had to sting. Not that you got beat, but that it was Marshall. Oh, Joe. Yeah. No, sorry, bud. Fierce Whiskers tour. Okay, cool. I have yet to experience Fierce Whiskers, and I'd like to because I hear a lot of really cool stuff about them. For me, I have uh, pretty much the pinnacle of going to any distillery for me was Cedar Ridge. Murphy Quint came in at the end of the tour. We were in the pretty much the single malt warehouse. They have 8 warehouses there, and one of them is specific for single malt. And we barrel thiefed a barrel that he's been working on for several years. Shared a glass of whiskey with Murphy Quint, shook his hand, talked to him for about 10-15 minutes before he had to get back to his daily chores at the distillery. That was a fantastic experience. It could have been anything in the glass. It didn't matter. Just sharing the dram with Murphy was really cool. And I'm so excited for that whiskey to come out because it was absolutely amazing.
That helps.
Yeah, that did help. Barrel thieving at Old Louisville. Okay. Excellent. That's barrel thieving is so cool because it's like I mean, is there any better actual distillery experience than taking a sample out straight out of the barrel? I mean, it's just a cool thing.
It's a lot of fun.
Whoop.
Oh, got rearranged.
There we go. And there we go.
This is a weird one too.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like it better than the last one though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it would be me. It would be 1-3. That would be my word.
I'll ask you guys that at the end, so you got time to think about that yet too.
Yeah.
Patty, did you and Caesar go at the same time? Obviously, I know the answer to that, but yeah, that's definitely cool. See, this is another cool experience. Doing a barrel pick at a distillery is really cool.
I want to go next time you go, Whiskey Shaman. Barrel pick at Real Spirit sounds like a blast.
Hell yeah. That's cool. That's really awesome when they do that kind of stuff. They can be stingy, or they can be really, really open and welcoming and just awesome people to, share it with everybody. Obviously, Caleb, you guys probably got a little bit more pull than just the random Joe walking in there, but
We're at First Whiskers. Is that what she was talking about?
yeah, I think no, I'm gonna butcher the name. Tawakaro.
Oh, Tawakaro. Yeah, Tawakaro.
Okay. There you go.
Tawakaro.
Jason's favorite distillery experience was with me. That's awesome. Him and I went to Driftless Glen last summer. Doing another tour, Jason, or doing another pick?
Ooh, that's got a nice hug.
Yeah, what do we got here? We got a few minutes yet. Are you guys getting close to ready? You got
Yeah, I'm
need a couple minutes yet?
thinking exact right now, so I just got 2 left. If I can even figure that out. Tell you what, these have been very challenging, to say the least.
Very challenging.
Let's make it hard.
To comment on my favorite craft distillery, it'd probably have to be when I went to Bent. I got to tour the entire facility. They brought me through the fermenters. They actually had so the neat thing about them is where they're located in Dallas, near Dallas, is their entire facility is in an old Piggly Wiggly. So like their dog it. I can't.
Their production facility, their rack house.
Yeah, everything is in the Piggly Wiggly, and like their I can't think of the doggone thing. But anyway, they're somebody help me out. Where they
I love it when the brain just freezes and you
Yeah.
can't even think.
where they distill their whiskey and everything. It's the shape of a submarine because it was
Oh, yeah.
designed
Oh, okay.
just in their warehouse. Like it's pretty cool.
Mhm.
And then I got to see the bottling line and everything. How automated, pretty tight.
I've heard about this submarine still.
Yeah, that's it. It's pretty incredible. And then they have off to the side, they have like an experimental still, because one of the cool things about Texas really is like a lot of their alternate spirits have to be made in house, is from what they told me. And so they're making their own tequila, they're making their own rum, they're making their own vodka. They do releases every now and then, and they had a port finished rum when I was there. That was pretty doggone good. So that
Mhm.
one thing I like about them is that they just uh, they have great craftsmanship. And then I was on the tour with one of their salesmen, and he was, and that's one thing I really like about the industry. There are so many incredible people in these distilleries and with these brands that it makes it a lot better. Makes you really, really buy into more they're doing. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Piggly Wiggly is not a name that a lot of people would recognize as a grocery store, but I think they're in a few states. Yeah.
and that's the so like where you fill your own bottle, they still have the Piggly Wiggly emblem on the wall. So like
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right,
they're all
we got
lit up and everything.
we got our guesses ready.
Yeah.
Caleb's good. Dylan.
yeah,
Hey, Corey.
let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Daniel joined while we were in your story there. So Daniel, thanks for joining. Cheers.
Cheers.
And let's see, who did I start with? I started with
I went first, so I'll go. I think I'll go again because Caleb went last.
who went first last time? Dylan did, right? Or Caleb did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. Dylan, go ahead.
Okay. So this one's gonna be kind of off. For some reason, I thought this one's awfully similar to number two, but I went with a rye in 50% ABV.
Did you say 50?
Yeah, 50% ABV. Um, and then I said um, it was aged used brandy barrels. And then my specific category, I went with a straight rye whiskey, 108 proof. And then I stayed with the ex brandy cask. Now, my guess, so I'm thinking it was, how would I need to say this? So like I'm thinking it was aged originally in a new oak barrel for rye, and then it was dumped into a used brandy barrel. So do I need to say both of those?
So finishing cask. Yeah.
Yep.
So new oak and then ex brandy.
Okay.
And I do not have a exact distillery or bottle because I don't know where to go.
What was your specific proof again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
108.
Okay. And Caleb, shoot.
Yeah. So I also think this is a rye. I think it's about 110 proof. Generic casking is a new, so I don't think it had a finishing cask on it.
Okay.
I think this is just a unique grain. So straight rye whiskey, specific proof. I also guessed 108. Specific casking. I don't think it had any finishing cask on it. And I am guessing it's is it Midwest or Middle West? Can't remember the name of the distillery, but they do the pumpernickel rye.
Pumpernickel.
Yeah.
Huh. That is wild.
That's actually a really good guess.
That is, yeah.
All right. So, as far as the 3 samples go, do you both have the same one that you think is your favorite?
Number 3.
Number 3 is Caleb's favorite. Dylan?
I think I'm gonna lean towards 1, but just barely.
1 is your favorite.
Yes, the number
Okay.
a very, very close second place.
Yeah, I thought 1 had a fantastic nose, but it wasn't delivering on the palate for me.
Right.
Okay. All right. So that sounds like number 2 is y'all's least favorite.
It was weird.
I thought it was just
Perfect. Then we are going to start with the reveal on number 2.
okay.
All right.
So Dylan, you actually got the generic category correct. It is a rye whiskey.
Nice.
Caleb, you said malt.
Mhm.
Generic proof. Dylan, you said 45%. You were a little bit low. Caleb, you hit it right on the head at 100 proof.
Oh wow.
Generic casking. Dylan, you said rum cask. So you are so close. You are so close. It is actually a straight rye whiskey finished in a rum barrel. So it is a finished rye whiskey is the actual specific category. So it's new oak and then used oak for the generic, and then the specific casking would be new oak and a rum barrel.
Oh my God.
Your specific proof, you said 47. It is 50%. So as far as the points go, Dylan, you scored the 1 point for the rye on the generic. Caleb, you scored the 1 point for the generic ABV because you did change your proof for the specific.
Mhm.
If you'd have kept it the same, you'd have got the other point on that one. But that's all right. That's the fun of it. So each of you got 1 point on that one. So we're at 1-1 right now.
All right.
Number 1. We're gonna go to number 1. Oh, sorry. I suppose I better tell you what it is.
What was it?
It is the
Angel's Envy.
Angel's
really?
Envy Rye. Yeah.
Oh.
And neither one of you are alone in saying that it's weird. It is a weird whiskey. I liked it when I first got into it. It has fallen off the shelf for me for the most part. I'm not super thrilled with it anymore. But
Yeah.
it's not horrible.
I don't know that I've
it's
ever
fun.
had that rye.
Okay. It's
I've had
it's a
their bourbon.
once in a while. I will say this: it makes a very good cocktail.
That it does, yeah.
So that is cool. All right, sample number 1. Dylan, you scored 2 points on this one. Caleb, you scored 3 on this one.
Okay.
So you both said single malt for your generic category. You are correct. It is a single malt.
Mhm.
Generic ABV. Dylan, you said 50%. Caleb, you said 45%. It is actually at 40%.
Wow.
Generic casking, you both got a point. You said used. It is actually used barrels. Dylan, Irish single malt for the specific category. Caleb, you said Scottish single malt. It is Scottish single malt.
Wow.
Specific proof. Dylan, you went up to 52. Caleb, you went down a little bit to 43.5. Still both, it's still at 40%, so both wrong there. Specific casking. You both said ex bourbon, which is half right. It is also done in seasoned sherry seasoned barrels as well.
Okay.
And Caleb, you said Aberfeldy 12-year for that. It is actually the Highland Park Magnus. So this is their very entry level, non-age stated single malt. So the next step up from this would be Highland Park 12. I find this to be really similar to Highland Park 12. Price point is only about $5 to $8 less than Highland Park 12. So I probably won't ever buy this again, and I'd just go with the 12 if I'm after a Highland Park.
That's why the nose was so familiar to me. I'm like, I can smell this.
It's super familiar with Highland Park 12. So score on that one was 2-3. So we are at a score of 3-4. And on to sample number 3. Dylan, Caleb, you both said rye. It is a rye. Generic ABV. Dylan, you said 50%. Caleb, you said 55% or 110 proof. Dylan, you said used. For the generic casking. Caleb, you said new. Caleb, it is new barrels. Specific category. Dylan, you said straight rye. It is a straight rye. Actually, you both said straight rye, so you both got that point. Specific ABV. Dylan, you said 108. Caleb, you said 108. It is actually 124.7.
Oh, wow.
Specific casking. Dylan, you then changed it to new and you used brandy barrel for a finish. Caleb, you stuck with new. It is new oak only. No finish. Dylan, no guess on the bottle or distillery. Caleb, you said Middle West Dark Pumpernickel. Excellent guess, but it is not what it is. So the points came across. Dylan, you got 2. Caleb, you got 4. So what are we at for a total here? 2, 4, 5. 2, 1, 4, 8. So 5-8 is the final score. And sample number 3 is my barrel pick of the Great Northern Rye whiskey, the Good Cop.
Really? Great Northern.
Is that a wheated rye?
No, it
No?
is.
What else?
Do you know the mash bill on that?
I do know the mash bill on it. Give me a second to remember it. It.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact percentages anymore.
That's okay.
It's malted rye,
Okay.
rye, and corn. It's not much corn. I think it's like 17% corn. It's 30. I think it's 35% rye, and then the rest is malted rye.
So it's a
That malted rye, like
malted
the
rye.
last round, the malted rye from New Riff. That's pretty incredible.
I like malted rye.
Yeah, I kept getting like a cherry cough drop note on that I was like, man, this has got to be like coming from wheat or something. But
yeah, that too. Wow,
it was good.
That's the best in my opinion.
Did he freeze? Oh no.
No, I didn't freeze. I'm trying to catch up on some comments here.
Oh, gotcha.
If there's So what? No, no half points, Brian. No half points.
Well, good job, Caleb.
Yeah. So
You did good
Caleb,
too, man.
that means you, sir, are moving on to 6/12 is your next day.
Okay.
6/12. And next week we'll decide who you go up against.
All right.
And I am going to try not to suck so bad at sending the samples out for this round because I cut it way too close for the 515 one. They got it on the day before, and I don't like cutting things that close. So
Yeah.
Marshall's and Brandon samples are going to go out probably tomorrow because I'm not going to be around this weekend. And then your samples will go out the day after. Will go out Thursday after Thursday the 30th.
We're on.
So Marshall, he likes the good cop. And he says he's got that bottle if you want to have some, if you want to have a little more of it.
Do you
Okay.
know what type of rye grain this is by any chance?
I don't know the name of the rye grain, but it is locally grown here in Wisconsin.
Okay.
I don't think it's anything super special.
Yes.
Whether it be now I'm blanking on the names of the rice. It could be Hazlitt. It could be a Bruzy. It could be a mixture of a couple different ryes too. Because a lot of times the farmers will just throw mixed stuff out there just to grow rye.
Yeah.
So
Commodity
it's
rye.
nothing. The grain that the specific type of grain wasn't huge on his priority list when he made this. But malting the majority of the rye grain was a big priority. So
It is really
It's good. It's very unique. I love it. Very, very
So-
good pick.
and that one has a brother cask. So there's good cop and bad cop. When we went to do the barrel pick, we found two that we liked, and they're both really really unique. So the age of the both of them, this particular one is 6 years 344 days. Bad cop is like 7 years and 35 days or something like that. They were next to each other in barrels in the warehouse for that whole time, never changed positions, and they are wildly different. It's just a really neat experiment on how different single barrels can be.
Nice.
the beauty
So-
of
And
Very cool.
a lot of preference is with bad cop. I still prefer good cop a little bit more, but they're both really good. But so, all right. Well, any last thoughts, any last things to say, craft distilling, any of that kind of stuff while we got a few minutes here?
I just want to tell you thank you for allowing me to come on here and participate. I think this has been great, and I think this is a great way for me to come across whiskey that I probably would have never either tried or been exposed to.
Cool.
Because I mean, I've never been big on Irish or single malts or anything. Well, I say single malts, American single malts I like, but never really anything overseas. And the last two rounds I've had some and I've really enjoyed them. So you've kind of opened my eyes to that. So I'm really excited about that. But
Excellent.
yeah, no, I mean the craft spirits thing, like that's the whole purpose of my platform. I just want to help share these stories and try to get them in front of as many people as possible, because to me what they're doing to make their products and how they make things are just more unique, and it's something different. And my palate's developed and changed so much in the past that I only go to stuff like that. I basically stay away from the big stuff because it's the same to me, it's the same flavors over and over again. And
Mhm.
I'm really looking for unique things, and that's what's in the craft industry. And I'm hoping that I can come across more stuff like this and help them get their word out there because they deserve it. They're doing so many different things. They have hands on every part of operations, so I think everyone needs to hear that. So
Absolutely. And what you mentioned their stories. What I love about their stories is it's not, I found a recipe in my attic in a old boot,
that
and all of that stuff. It's a lot of the stories are, I was sick of working in PR, or I was sick of being an attorney, or I was sick of doing this or whatever, and I decided I wanted to start a distillery, and that's where we went.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see, not necessarily everyday people, but everyday people kind of chase a dream and have some kind of success. And it's like, I want to make them more successful, or I want to help them become more successful, especially when they're doing something good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And there's a lot of them that are doing good stuff. Like I think
uh,
there's so many hidden gems out there with craft whiskey that
I I think there's more of them doing good stuff than what people want to realize.
Mhm.
And hopefully that changes soon. But you know. All right, guys. Well, if you are available and you want to, I'm sure there's going to be a Instagram live started up for the after show. If you want to pop on, you
Okay.
have a seat available to you on the live.
Okay.
Um, I don't know who's going to start it. It'll probably either be myself or the Whiskey Franco. And yeah, hopefully we see you on there. And you guys, thank you, Dylan. I know you said thanks for letting you be on here, but thank you for agreeing to be on here. That's exactly what you said is what I was after here. Get people interested in other stuff and try stuff that they necessarily haven't. Caleb, you did awesome again, and
You
we
surprised me with
will.
that second one. I had no idea.
Well, good.
So
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to surprise you.
I
But
thought for sure this was something peated and weird,
yeah,
but it turns out it's just
I had no,
the rum
a
did
rum
something
finish.
funky.
Yeah.
So,
So
Caleb, we will see you again on the 12th of
okay.
June. And both you guys, cheers.
It
Thank
was good
you.
to meet you, Dylan.
oh,
And we'll see you guys soon.
all right.
Cheers.
Okay. Well,